Hey there everyone, welcome back to Game Vine, and my name is David, and again I'm joined by Chris for this review of Smash Up by AEG Games. Now Smash Up is a different kind of card game, I would say. It's basically some might say a knife fight in a phone booth.
Right.
It's a very cutthroat kind of deck builder, right?
Yes.
So what you're doing is you have two decks that you'll put together and smash them up. And your end goal is to try to take over bases with these characters. And this base set comes with 8 different factions. So I don't know. This is a good card game that plays in about what, 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, give or take. Just depends on how ruthless you want to be.
Yeah. So now let's show you this cutthroat card game, and then we'll show you how to play. Let's go. Alright, so the contents come, like I said, with 8 different factions and 20 cards of each faction. So you have a 40 card deck when you start because you pick 2 of these and then you're ready to start the game. It comes with 8 different ones here. Now, this right here comes in the big box of Smash Up. Now, we'll get to that later on, but I'm just going to use these because it's a nice visual and you can see which faction is which just by looking at the picture. Then we have the base cards that come in this set. The words are kind of small and hard to read, but beyond that, the cards are beautiful. I love the art, and they are blue backed, and these cards in the character deck are yellow backed, and of course I have them sleeved because I want to keep them preserved. It also comes with a slew of victory point cardboard components, and they're done well. It also has the rules that are described okay, but now let's show you how to play this game so you don't have to read that rule book. Let's go. So the first thing you'll do is pick 2 factions, and this will start your player deck. It's very appealing to have zombies in your deck, and why not have big zombie dinosaurs? Then you'll take those 2 and shuffle them up. Chris, you want to pick yours now? Pirate ninjas. Alright, so it's going to be zombie dinosaurs versus pirate ninjas. Now let's set up the base cards and get this game going. Alright, so then you put everything out here on the table. You have the base deck right here in the middle, so you can start flipping them over, and you start with 4 base cards. Now, the end game is the person to get 15 victory points is the winner. Ties are broken else how, and you can look into that yourself. But let's go over the anatomy of a base card right now. There are 3 different numbers. This is for the first place winner when the base triggers. This is for the second place winner, and this is for the third place winner. Now, the base will trigger when you activate this amount of points. Now, different character cards like minions will have points on them, and there can be different cards by different players adding up to this number. Again, it's collectively. So this guy has 2 points, and if I were to play him on a base, I'm trying to reach 21 to break that base. I can continue to do that with this 4 monster, and other players can do that. Once it breaks, we then award those amount of points. Again, first, second, and third. Once that happens, this base is removed, the victory points are rewarded, and you put it in front of you, and you flip the next base card. So that's how the game is basically played out. On your turn, you draw 5 cards to start, and this is how the turn breaks down. You can play 1 minion card and 1 action card. Now, you can tell the minions because they have a number to break the bases, and the action cards, of course, they'll say it down here. And you don't have to play both of a minion and an action, but you have the choice to do so. So once you play a minion, again, you can play it on any base that you want, and you can play an action card. And with the zombie here, let's go over this one. It says place a card from your discard pile into your hand. Of course, they're reanimating. Very thematic. I like it, and you can do that as well. Then you will draw 2 cards. The one thing to keep in mind, though, your hand cannot go over the hand limit of 10. You'll have to discard down if it does exceed that amount. So you'll continue to do this process, playing minions, playing actions, drawing cards, trying to break the base, and try to accumulate 15 points to win the game. The one thing I didn't mention, though, is every base might have an ability, and that's where the small text come in. This will also go off whenever it says, and there might be a lingering effect on that base. This one here says, after each time a minion is destroyed here, place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. Normally, you would just discard it. This one here is a 2-0-0, so only one person is getting points, but this one doesn't have an ability. So some might not have one on it, though this one that has all zeros is pretty interesting. The Rhodes Plaza Mall, it's a zombie base, and a lot of these bases are going to associate with some of the characters, well, all the characters, and there's the theme again. This one is, when this base scores, each player gains 1 victory point for each minion that the player has here. I mean, that's really neat and zombie thematic. Now that felt really simple, and that's where the charm is in this game, and its cutthroat nature. The last thing that I want to mention is some of the abilities on the character cards, and that is also going to lead into us going over all the factions. Some of these might go off in the beginning of the turn, or immediately, or at the end of the turn. A lot of what you need to know is going to be on the cards, which is another thing I like about this game. So the ability here for this one, look at the top card of your deck, discard it, or return it to the top of your deck. So things might happen in that sense. So now that you know how to play this game, let's go over the factions in more detail, and we'll show you how they work. So personal favorites first, the zombie. Now the play of this half deck, I would say, is weenies and a lot of minions. They keep reanimating and they just keep coming at you and attacking. Not very strong, but in numbers, just like zombies would be, they're dangerous. This Tenacious Z, that's one of the things about Smash Up. They always have like pun and humor to the cards, and I love it personally. Specials would go off during a certain point. You can see that in the rulebook. During your turn, you may play this card from your discard pile as an extra minion. You may only use this ability on one Tenacious Z's turn. So stuff like that will happen. Again, they're going to reanimate themselves. I went over the Walker. The Grave Robber is an action card. Place a card from the discard pile into your hand. Again, you're just getting stuff. Outbreak. Play an extra minion on your base when you have no minions. And this one here, they keep coming. Play an extra minion card from your discard pile. So you can have 2 good decks that really correspond with small minions and just keep playing a whole bunch on the bases. I'm just gonna keep going here and let you see the art. Maul Crawl, and that's a good one where you search your deck. The walkers are all over in the deck, and then this is one of the more powerful zombies, a Zombie Lord. You may play an extra minion of 2 or less from your discard pile for each base where you have no minions, and he just spawns a whole bunch of zombies right there, allowing you to get a little bit of each of the base's points. And not enough bullets. This is a really cool art card. They're coming to get you, and that's kind of like They're Coming to Get You, Barbara. I love that song. But yeah, that is how that's how the zombies basically break down. Now let's go over another faction right now. Alright, so next up we have basically my deck, the Dinosaurs. Now these guys aren't as fast as the zombies, but they are powerful and their abilities are pretty fun. So let's go over them now. This one here is Augment, and they're kind of like cyber dinosaurs, so that's really cool. Even more, one of your minions gets +4 power until the end of turn, and power is the number that's up there, so it's kind of like attack. War Raptor, ongoing. This is one of the abilities that's ongoing. Gain +1 power for each War Raptor on this base, including this one. So there's a few of those in there. Laser Tops, I mean, this is so cool. I love these dinosaurs. Destroy a minion of power 2 or less on this base. Armor Stago, and this one is +2 power for each other players on. It just keeps going on. They like to work together, though they aren't as weak as the zombies. I would say that they are a little more powerful, and this deck has a lot more minions than it does action cards, but this is the strongest one in the base set right here. This is King Rex, and now he doesn't have an ability, but he is a 7. I mean, you can just play any minion you want. It doesn't matter how strong they are. You get the option to play anyone, and if you play this, you're probably going to break a base. And Laser Top shows up again, Tooth and Claw and guns. I mean, look at this art here, and how each of your minions gains +1 power to the end of the turn. They really like to help out. They are a kind of buffing deck, that's what I would call them, along with having a whole bunch of good minions. So, oh, this one's really cool. Rampage. Reduce the break point of a base by the power of 1 of your minions on that base until the end of turn. So you can just play King Rex, then play this. That base is breaking. Now let's go over the next faction. Okay, let's start with Chris's deck, the Ninjas. The Ninjas are annoying. They take out minions. They're very sneaky. very thematic as ninjas. Again, these arts tile dividers come in the big box. I don't know why I say that, but I just want to make sure that you don't get those, but it's really neat art on all the cards as well in this base set. So the first one here is Scene Star, destroy a minion of power 3 or less, and that's going to be a pattern in this deck. Smoke Bomb, play one of your minions. Ongoing, this minion is not affected by other players' action cards, so they can hide out in the shadows. You may destroy a minion of 3 or less on this base. Tiger Assassin. I mean, the ninjas are some of my favorite art cards in the game, but very dark. This one here is Infiltrate, play on the base, destroy an action that has been played here. Ongoing, you may ignore this base's ability until the start of the next turn. So they're just able to ignore, kill, and just take out whatever comes in their way. This is a Shinobi card, really neat. Look at that one, that is so nice. Ninja card there, and that's another Tiger Assassination, Seeing Star, Shinobi comes up again, Poison, play on a minion, destroy any number of action cards on it. Ninja Master, you may destroy a minion on this base. It doesn't matter, you can just boom, take him out, and of course he'd be able to do that. So it keeps going on like that. The ninjas are very sneaky and very deadly. Hidden Ninja, before a base scores, play minions there, boom, just steal points. All right, let's go over the next faction. So the other half of Chris's deck is the Pirates. Now, they're different. They're a different kind of play style. They are mobile. They're able to take their minions and really move them to other bases, trying to spread out the pirates and gain points wherever they are. And there are other stuff too, but that's basically how they sum up. Move another player's minion to another base. They can also move other players as well with Shanghai. The Pirate King, the 5 here, the big one, before a base scores, you may move this minion there. And that's how they snake points. They're really after the booty. Full Sails, move any number of minions to other bases. Special, before a base scores, you may play this card, which is really cool. The Dinghy, move up to 2 of your minions to other bases, and that just keeps going on. And this one, you may destroy a minion of 2 power or less. First mate, after the base scores, you may move this minion there to steal points, basically. The Buccaneer, sees a 4. If this minion would be destroyed, move it to another base. So he's like, nope, not gonna get me. And the first mate is really in there a lot. Swashbuckling, each of your minions gain +1 power to the end of turn. Sea Dog, name a faction, move all other player's minion of that faction from one base to another. Cannon, that's really cool, destroy 2 minions. So they can destroy some stuff, but their main goal is to try to steal points from scoring bases. Now let's go over the next faction. Alright, so now we're going into unknown territory when it comes to factions that you haven't really seen much of, and this is the Alien half deck. Now, these are the only cards that actually scored victory points, and that's the only way that you can get victory points in other decks are scoring bases, but these can give you those much needed 1 more points to win the game, and they also have some pretty cool effects and abilities. Transformer, transforming, search a base deck for a base, swap it with the base that's in play, and basically you can just get whatever you want there. Disintegrator, place a minion of 3 or less power at the bottom of its owner's deck. Collector, you may return a minion of power 3 or less to the owner's hand. So they're kind of annoying as well. They kind of make people pick up their minions, and then they score points as well. After this base is scored, you may place this minion into your hand instead in the discard pile. Return a minion to its owner's hand, play an extra minion. So returning stuff to player's hand is kind of a theme with these aliens, and the collector is again there. Invasion, move a minion to another base. Collector is again there. So as a scout invader, this is the one that lets you just flat out get 1 victory point. Boom, give me a victory point. I'm gonna place a minion on a base. There you go. Now Supreme Overlord, they're biggie. You may return a minion to its owner hand. It's not the greatest ability, but he is a 5, so beam up, return the minion to its owner's hand. Jam Signal, play on a base, all players ignore the base's ability. Probe, oh, that's terrifying. Look at another player's hand, choose a minion in it, and the player discards that minion. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't want to know. And the last card here is one of my favorites in the deck, and that is that's really cool. Crop Circles, choose a base, return each minion on that base to its owner's hand. So now let's go over another faction. Alright, so the Tricksters are next. Now these guys are tricky. They have a little bit of stuff to do this, a little bit of stuff to do that. They are all around kind of play. Let's go over them now. The Gremlin. After this minion is destroyed, draw a card. Each other player discards a random card. So they have that. Gnome, you may play a minion on the base with a power less than the number of the minion that you have here. The other thing they didn't show, they have a little symbol down here, so when you do mix them up, you're able to sort them out easily because you just have to match up these symbols. And the Tricksters are a clover. Play this on the base. On another turn, you may play an extra minion and brownie. Another player plays a card that affects this minion. That player discards 2 random cards. So they're protecting themselves by making people discard cards. Leprechaun, this is their big one. After another player plays a minion here with less power than this minion, destroy it. So he's like, nah, this is my gold. Take the shinies. Each other player discards 2 random cards. Yeah, their theme is discarding. That's what it is. Mark of sleep. Choose another player. That player cannot play action cards this turn. And that keeps going on. The art is really neat, and disenchant is the last one I'll go over. Destroy an action card that has been played on a minion's base. So quite simple. They are just destroying stuff and making you discard. Now let's go over another faction. Alright, so the next faction that we have here is the Wizards. Now, let's go over their cards and we'll show you how they play. Search the deck for an action and reveal it to all players. Place that in your hand and shuffle your deck. So they are kind of acquiring spells and very thematic, getting cards and casting stuff. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 5 cards. You may play an extra action after that. Draw cards. So yeah, that's what these guys do. They draw cards and allow themselves to play a lot of actions as well. You may play an extra action this turn. Portal, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Place any number of minions. Reveal this into your hand and return the other cards in the order that you want in your deck. That's really overpowered and really cool. Mass enchantment. Reveal. That's what it was. Mystic studies. Draw 2 cards. Play an extra minion. Draw a card. I mean, just drawing cards with the mages or the wizards. Choose one of your minions. Draw cards equal to its power. Destroy that minion. So you can match these guys up with a deck like zombies and really draw a lot of zombies, throw them out, and continue just to do that and get the zombies from the discard pile and draw your deck, and I mean just really overwhelm a player. So those are the Wizards. Now let's go over the last factions, the Robots. Alright, so the Robots are really cool. They work off each other. So they're a deck that has a lot of small minions, a few actions that are going to build up the characters that are in your deck. So the first one here, we have Warbot. Ongoing ability. This minion cannot be destroyed, just flat out. He's like a big iron steel cube. You can't destroy that. Reveal the top of your deck. If it is a minion, you may play an extra minion, otherwise return it to your deck. So there's that. Microbot. Now this one here, if this is the first minion you play on this turn, you may play an extra minion ongoing. Each of your microbots gets +1 power. So I like robot zombies, honestly. A lot of small attacking monsters or minions, but you can summon a lot of them and they can buff each other up. And Zap Bots, you may play an extra minion of power 2 or less, and that's really cool. Another Microbot Reclaimer, Tech Center, choose a base, draw 1 card for each of your minions there, so it allows you to draw there. Zap Bot, so there's a lot of repeats in this, but it's a really good deck. I like this one personally. After this minion is destroyed, destroy each of the player's minions on this base. So it just keeps going on like that. A lot of small characters buffing each other up. Destroy this minion on the base with a power less than the number of minions you have here. So those are all the factions. Now I'm going to briefly go over the bases, and then we're going to get into what we think about this game and give it a grade. So like I said, the bases are going to be in the theme of each of the factions. This one is a Ninja One, Temple of Goju, I think that's how you say it. After this base scores, place each player's highest power minion here on the bottom of its owner's deck. So it's pretty cool. Sometimes they'll help you, sometimes they'll be just awful. Each minion here gets +1 attack. So there's that. Evans City Cemetery, that's a zombie one. Or Wizards. After this base scores, the winner discards his or her hand and it draws 5 cards. So that could be bad. Here's a pirate one. After this base scores, all players other than the winner may move minions from here to another base instead of discarding them. So the alien is up next. I like this mothership. The art's really cool. After this base scores, the winner may return one of his or her minions of power 3 or less to her hand. So we'll go over the art. I'm not going to go over all the abilities, but there are a fair amount of bases here, and this is enough to start with. So now let's tell you what we actually think of Smash Up. Alright, so that was Smash Up. I know it seemed like a lot, but this game is extremely simple, but extremely cutthroat. So as I always do, I'm going to be giving this game a letter grade in or percentage. I settled on a 92, which is crazy high, and I just like this one. It really caters to everything that I like about playing card games, and it's different. It's not like, as we always compare most card games to Magic the Gathering or Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, I think that's because that's where everybody starts.
Right. It does have some things that resonate ability-wise with Magic, but this is a completely different card game. So, I'm going to discuss a little more after I hear what Chris thinks about it.
So yeah, I love the game. It's really easy, really quick. It's just draw the card and you do what the card says on it. I mean, there's really not much more to it.
Yeah.
When you lay it on the base, all you're trying to do is just break that number. Once you break the number, and that includes everybody, every minion that's on that base.
Right.
So it's a great game, and the best part about this game really is the smash up. Mixing two different things.
That really brought me in.
That's what really got me in too, because like you can mix like aliens or aliens and dinosaurs.
And you don't have to just like, oh, I like dragons, but if you like dragons or something else, those dragons would be really cool.
That would be. Now you think about it.
But yeah, I mean.
But no, I would say so. With all that being said, I would say about 1 through 10, I'd give it a 7.
You gave it a 7? Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, I like it a little more than you because of the cutthroat nature. You are always constantly going after players. Like you've seen, a lot of these decks cater that, making people discard, drawing cards and putting them back in your hands.
You're against everybody.
You're in your face. It's not like you're going just like two players fighting.
Yeah. I mean, if there are two players, that's what you're doing. But the more players you have, you're just going right against each other.
And I think more players, the merrier. This only goes up to 4, but I think 4 is a great number for this. It might run on a little long, but the humor of the game, the art... The
art is amazing in this game. Every card is just amazing.
It kind of looks like King of Tokyo a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought it was done by Yellow, but AEG actually has their own artist doing the kind of reminiscent style of that, and I love this style. It looks great.
It does look great.
So during your downtime, you can just look at these cards and figure it out. But like Chris said, once you know how to play, you're just trying to break bases, everything you need to know is going to be in your hand.
Yeah, it'll tell you exactly what you do.
There are specific factions that may work better with each other.
Yeah, you just have to try them. You got to mix them up. Just like we've tried a few times. You know, some, like you said, some work better with others. Some don't really work that well at all together.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really put any 2 factions that were just terrible with each other.
I don't think any of them are terrible. It's just, like you said, just another faction will really benefit another.
Yeah.
Or it's not that it won't benefit it at all. It'll just be a little bit harder to play off.
Yeah, like the zombies, dinosaurs might not have been the best thing because there aren't that many minions in the dinosaurs. Though the robot zombies
would probably work.
I mean, you were just throwing monsters down people's throats and bases and getting points. So. I would say all of them are pretty balanced, and it's just fun to try out. Like Chris was saying, just pick 2 factions and see if they work.
Smashing them up. And then I think we're gonna have some more expansions on this.
Oh, there are tons of expansions, and like you've seen the inserts, the little plastic things that we're showing off. Those come in the big box, which I'll get into that a little later. There are, the next one up is the level 9,000, and each one of those adds a few different factions and base cards, but we are going to try to review those together.
We'll do them all.
I know we're going to do that. It's going to be our job, so hold us accountable. So that was Smash Up. It's a game that I like, and I cannot recommend it enough for people out there. Though if you are a player or you have gamers in your group that don't like being attacked, that might be something you want to watch out for. But beyond that, I like this game, and I'm going to recommend it for you out there. So, and until the next time that we see you, I've been Dave.
Chris.
And have a great rest of your day and a great time with all that you play. You heard it here on the Game Find. We're out.